Hello, good morning everyone. I'm saying good morning. It is 20 minutes to 12. I've had a very slow, chilled, relaxed morning, which I kind of feel is what I need. As I said in my last video, have been a bit unwell. I had a bad reaction to antibiotics and I feel like my body's still kind of getting over that. So today I am going to take it easy, but not mentally, not mentally. I'm going to be back on the exposure therapy grind. I actually have my exposure therapy chart behind me. I don't know if you can see that, but I was on such a good streak. And then I got ill for like a week and I literally couldn't do it, and I feel like I've not really got back into the swing of it since then. I have progressed so much since I last filmed an exposure therapy video though. Like, I've been doing upwards of like 15-minute walks by myself. I actually did an over 20-minute walk by myself with the dog the other day. So yeah, I generally just have been making so much progress, and today I wanted to do 2 exposure therapy things. I just wanted to bring you along. I thought we could kind of spend some time together today discussing exposure therapy, discussing why it's helpful, discussing just all things PTSD and exposure therapy really. So yeah, there's 2 big exposures that I want to do today and I just wanted to bring you along. I have a call with my therapist in about 50 minutes and then I'll get some lunch and then I think I'll crack on. So yeah, I also just want to say a big thank you to Organic Basics for sponsoring this video, but I'll get into that more later. Okay, so I'm about to go downstairs and make my brother a coffee and then package up my stuff for the post office, and then I'm gonna walk to the post office by myself and I'm gonna go in there by myself and I'm gonna give them my parcels and pick up my parcel by myself. And if you're wondering kind of why that makes me anxious, I have a fear of being by myself because it makes me feel vulnerable, and I'm really scared of going into a shop because in my head this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go in there, they're going to know that I'm on my own, they're going to think I'm a perfect target because I'm by myself and because I'm a young woman and because everyone feels like a threat to me, and they're going to like lock me in, or I'm going to get harmed in some way. Basically, that is my fear, and it feels like a really real fear to me. And actually I have done this a couple times now, so the fear has lessened. It's definitely not as intense as it used to be, which I'm really grateful for. Doing exposure therapy for the past actually over a year now has really reduced my anxiety in general. There are still a lot of things that I definitely struggle with, but it has reduced my anxiety, which I'm super grateful for. But I also did just want to talk a little bit about exposure therapy and about how it works for anyone that is considering doing it, if there are fears that you have in day-to-day life that are affecting your life. So basically the idea of exposure therapy is that you have a fear that is probably triggered by a past experience, if it's kind of stemming from PTSD like mine is, and you have this fear and then it stops you from doing that in your daily life. So say I was scared that the second I walked outside I was going to get stabbed. I would just avoid going outside, but then that leads to me living a really closed in life and not going out, and that's not good for a person. So for me to face that fear, I gradually need to start going outside, and when I do go outside and I don't immediately get stabbed, I gradually start to learn that actually that threat isn't real. And the more and more you do it, the more your brain goes, I've done this 7 times and every time I thought that something bad was going to happen and it never happened, so actually maybe these feelings of threat and these thoughts that I have aren't actually correct. And that's what's happened to me. So I've been, you know, walking my dog and going out by myself more, and I'm not as far along as I'd like to be, but I am really learning that actually every time I'm convinced 100% that I'm going to leave the house and something awful is going to happen, it doesn't happen. And I realise that actually these thoughts aren't always right and I don't always have to listen to them. Another thing that I was actually talking to my therapist about earlier is sitting with uncertainty, and I think for people who struggle with trauma or anxiety or OCD or like a lot of things really, I think as humans we do often struggle to sit with uncertainty, but it's something that I really struggle with, and I think the not knowing if it's gonna happen or not is what has kept me stuck in the past. And I really had to learn the difference between probability and possibility, because when someone was like, like, it's not gonna happen. I was like, you can't tell me that. You have no idea. Like, statistically, it's not impossible. So in my head, it will happen. But when you actually look at the probability of it happening, it's really low. And you need to learn the difference between it is possible that it will happen and it's likely that it will happen. And I think sitting with that uncertainty is also really, really important. And exposure therapy is really good for forcing yourself to sit with that uncertainty. And it is terrifying because at first you kind of are going out and you're thinking like, this could happen to me, like I am potentially putting myself in a dangerous situation, but the likelihood is that nothing is actually going to happen, and you just have to sit with that uncertainty to then learn that nothing bad's going to happen. I hope that makes sense. I tried to explain that very quickly, but I'm gonna go, as I said, package up my things, make Rory a coffee and head out by myself. I am feeling very anxious about it, as I said, but yeah, I am just gonna do it and then hope that everything's fine. Also guys, I do just want to show you my outfit. As I said earlier, this video is sponsored by Organic Basics and I'm so happy to be working with them. I think they are such an incredible brand. So the top I'm wearing right now is from their new Flex Cotton range, and when I say it's the comfiest top, like I wear these little black tops all the time. You've probably seen me wearing them, like I have to kind of limit myself from wearing them, otherwise I basically wear the same outfit every day, but this is the most comfortable thing. It's like skin tight, but it's so flattering, and I find it hard sometimes to wear skin tight things, but this makes me feel like so good. It's also made from 100% sustainably sourced, ethically made cotton. Like, it's incredible. They as a brand really focus on sustainability, eco-friendliness, and I'll show you my whole outfit because I also have joggers from them on right now. These joggers, guys, they're so comfortable. They're such good quality. I really, really love them, and I'm really happy that I get to put you onto them. So if you would like to check out Organic Basics yourself, I have a discount code. It's RoMitchell10 and you can get 10% off site-wide. Okay, so I'm gonna swap to iPhone footage now because I'm not taking my giant camera out with me. I'm feeling very anxious right now. I think because I've been ill the past couple weeks, I haven't been doing it regularly, so now my brain's going. But I'm literally just gonna go to the post office. I'll probably put my phone in my pocket. I can do it, I know I can do it. And actually I've got so much evidence that bad things don't happen when I think they're gonna happen, so. They're my old keys. I've actually lost my keys. Anyways, not the point right now. Door's unlocked. Gotta grab my parcels. Guys, it's so hot. It's actually boiling. I'm baking. I don't have any sun cream on. I'm definitely way more chill than I would have been, but my anxiety is very high right now, I think, because I know what the end goal is, if you know what I mean. Now I'm gonna go into the post office and I get scared. I know I can do it, so it's fine. So I dropped my parcels off, but honestly I'm a bit annoyed because I tried to pick up my other parcel and he was like, come back after 3, our internet connection is down, and I was thinking, I've just done ASOS returns, how can your internet connection be down? Oh my god, it is so hot out. I am so sweaty. I am also just like really confused though, because why did he ask me to come back? He said after 3 p.m. and it is after 3 p.m. and he was like, I don't know if you could hear what I was saying out there, but he literally looked at the floor. He said, what's your name? Is it Every? I was like, yeah. He looked at the floor and he went, the internet's down. I was like, what? How have you just taken my returns? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm thinking I'm gonna get my brother to go back for me just because it is really hot, and I've planned 2 exposures today, which is a lot anyway. I want to take my dog's down here, but I want to take her out later. I'm just feeling a bit bugged because that was my plan and I was like, it's okay, I'll get something out of it. I get to go pick up my parcel, and now I don't, and now I'm just left with the like come down of the anxiety, but it's fine. I'm feeling proud of myself. I got quite anxious when I was in there. I obviously couldn't film in there because I needed my phone for the parcels, but it's definitely easier than it used to be, which is great. But it's just about like remembering that not everyone is a threat and that there might be bad people in the world, but you know, the other day I was stood in a crowd of tens of thousands of people and not a single one harmed me or did anything bad to me. So not everyone's bad and not everyone's out to get me. So I've been like chilling for the last however long, probably an hour and a bit, since doing my exposure therapy. I want to talk to you about doing exposure therapy by yourself, because I am aware that I am very lucky in the sense that I have EMDR. So I have an EMDR therapist who like specialises in EMDR and does exposure therapy. I also have a peer support worker who does do exposure therapy with me, and that is an incredibly valuable resource to me because I started off doing exposure therapy with her. We planned a lot together and she has kind of kick-started a lot of the exposure work for me. But I do actually do a lot of it myself now, and it is possible to do it by yourself. I think you just need a plan in place and you need to hold yourself accountable. I actually want to show you my Notion plan, which I've been logged out of, which is weird. Why have I been logged out of it? That's making me nervous. On my Notion, I have an exposure therapy plan. It basically looks like this, right? So on Notion, there's an option where you can make like a timeline, and I made myself a timeline of when I wanted to achieve all of these things. So basically this plan has been incredible for holding myself accountable, and I think that if you are doing it by yourself, I want to shut my hair in that, you will need a plan and you will need to hold yourself accountable. And if you have someone else that can help you hold yourself accountable and take those first steps with you, that's great. Like you might have seen that Brandon was walking to the end of the road with me and just, you know, things like that. So if you have someone that you can do that with, that's great. But if you don't, making a graded plan that is actually achievable and has tangible goals on it will be really helpful. So I did start off really small, you know, it was like walk to the end of the road, then walk around the block, then walk to a local green space, then walk to the post office and go in by myself. That plan has really like kept me on track and helped me see that actually this is all part of a bigger picture and I'm gradually working towards the end goal. And the other thing that has really helped me, which I'm annoyed because I missed a week on it because I got ill and I couldn't do my exposure therapy properly, but this guy here, my exposure therapy chart, basically this is an awful angle, but basically this is my exposure therapy chart. Lots of people have asked me for let me move around. Lots of people have asked me for like a template of it, and I'm gonna be honest, I screenshotted it off Google Images, cropped it and printed it off. So I would recommend doing that, just getting like a blank month template, and then I've literally just written in exposure therapy, and I bought these stickers off Amazon. They're meant for children, that's fine, they do the job for me. I'm really motivated by like seeing like the progress. It's similar to how like a to-do list works for me. Like if I know I've ticked it off and I haven't missed anything, I'll be super happy with myself. So this has really made me want to do it every day. And it was going great up until I got ill, and now it's kind of, we've had some issues. And also I think it's important to just remember that like you can start the process of recovery from anything by yourself. You don't have to wait for someone to come and help you, and I am aware that for a lot of people it feels impossible to do it yourself, and having professional support is super important and super helpful, not just for your safety in terms of like eating disorder recovery and crises and stuff like that, but also just to have that guidance. I know how helpful it is, but if you are on a waiting list or you can't get that kind of support, you can change your life yourself. I think it is just about creating some of those resources by yourself, like the to-do list, like holding yourself accountable with sticker charts, like finding, you know, a family or friend, like finding a friend or a family member who can help you. I don't know, I hope that all makes sense, but I did just want to talk a little bit about ways that you can start doing it yourself or continue doing it yourself, because those have been really helpful to me. So yeah, I'm gonna actually sit and edit for a bit now, and I'll see you in a bit. Oh god, I just smashed my laptop into my phone. So I'm actually just putting my shoes on, and then we're gonna go walkies. Are you sitting on my lap? That's not gonna get us out very fast. She's sitting on my lap, and then we're gonna go walkies. I'm taking her by myself. I am feeling incredibly anxious right now. I kind of want to cry. Like I'm at that point of like, I really don't want to do this, and I'm not 100% sure why I feel like this. I just do, but I know that she needs a walk, and I know that it will be good for me, and I know that I've done this before and nothing bad has happened, so we're just gonna do it again. I'm like quite away from home now, and the road near me is really busy, and I have a spot here. I know that like if I don't complete this, it's always going to stay scary. I'm just keeping on. I made it all the way down to by the water. It's a challenge to get here. I realised that it's really dark and dingy right now. It's 8 o'clock. I haven't filmed since I got in from my walk. I got a bit triggered on the walk, if I'm honest, and then I came home and I just needed to do some like grounding and not speak to a camera. And I just needed to have a minute to myself to just calm down really and kind of get present again. We are about to cook dinner. We're just gonna have some pasta. I'm really tired. I am really proud because I know that I've really pushed myself today, and it was especially hard today because I haven't done it for a while, and today is actually an anniversary of something for me. People with PTSD will get that kind of thing, but like sometimes when it's an anniversary of something that happened to you, it can feel quite difficult. So I've had a lot going on in my head today, but I'm really proud of how well I've done. I'm proud that I managed to do it, and you know, I managed to get to the post office. I managed to go on a long walk by myself with the dog, and I'm going to carry on doing this every day until it gets easier. So yeah, I'm in the bathroom by the way because I'm about to take my makeup off because my face is so itchy, and my actual, this is so off topic, my actual nostril, like there's a spot here. If you've noticed a bit of like crust on my nose, it is a spot, but my actual like nostril has just like swollen up. So I'm going to take my makeup off and let my skin breathe a bit, and I'm just going to say goodnight and that I will see you next week. Please look after yourself. Please remember that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and if you want to get into exposure therapy, you can make a start. I love you all so much, and yeah, I'll see you next week.